Welcome, folks, to the 128th version of the nation's second oldest continuous high school rivalry in the nation. Malden leads the series 62-55, and there were 10 ties. The Mustangs come in with a record of 1-9. They've defeated winless Drake back on October 30th by the score of 40-31. Golden Tornadoes, on the other hand, they are GBL champions after defeating Everett for the first time in 24 years. That made them the number 5 seed in Division I for the playoffs. In fact, they've had one of the toughest schedules in the state, having to play 7 playoff teams coming in to this historic game. Their regular season record was 4-3, but they've lost the last 3 in the tournament. They are now at 4-6. So those were the captains flashing before your eyes. This game is getting ready to start here in beautiful Hormel Stadium. Kicker Josh Andrews for the Golden Tornadoes getting set to fire this one off in the direction of the Mustangs. Back deep for Medford, number 2 Corey Moore, and senior captain number 3 Aaron Seeley. We're underway, finally, for the 128th Thanksgiving Day football extravaganza. Looks like Corey Moore picks it up. He's going to take the ball out to the 34-yard line. He's going to have a 1st and 10 for the Medford Mustangs. We'll do our best to go ahead and set the offense for Medford and defense for Malden. At quarterback today for the Medford Mustangs is going to be number 15, Kyle Lynch. His running back is senior captain Anthony DiRenzo. He's number 31. Receivers are going to be Aaron Seeley, number 3, number 4, Abdi Jama, number 9, Miles Olivier, and a young man that's been a quarterback for a lot of the season, number 8, Ben Antoine. So, Lynch sets the offense, raises the leg. We're getting ready to rock and roll. Rolls left, quick pass, got DiRenzo out of the backfield, and he's going to gain a quick 11 yards out to the 45-yard line. Lynch quickly hustles his teammates up to the line of scrimmage. They look to the sideline, Coach Nascimento for the play, or his offensive coordinator, one of the two, and they are going to fire off an offensive play as quickly as they can. Obviously, the raising of the leg is showing that they're ready to accept the ball on the snap, and Lynch is going to take it full steam ahead. He's tackled by Malden's number 4, Robert Green, and number 56, Stephen Bosacote. Want to go ahead and set that offensive line for Medford. You have number 71, Adam Gerby, 72, Jeremy Bonina at guard. The center's Adam Ferragamo, number 68. The left guard is number 52, Louis Manrazin, and the left tackle is number 67, Vinny Tavenzi. In the day of the hurry-up, no-huddle, quickly to the line, Lynch's pass for number 2, Corey Moore, is incomplete. It was defended there by a couple Malden Golden Tornadoes. That's going to bring up a 3rd down and 7 at the 48-yard line. Want to quickly set the Malden defense before Medford runs another play. The tackles are Miguel Ortega, number 75, and James Knox, 58, who's a senior captain. The defensive ends are Devin Kelly or Simpson Laveris at one side, and number 4, senior captain Robert Green on the other. So Lynch is quickly ready to set his team. Hands the ball off straight ahead. Looks like he fumbles the ball. It's scooped and scored by Jared Martino, number 10. He's going to take that thing 45 yards. So Malden quickly on the board here in the first quarter. That's Jared Martino. DiRenzo got the ball handed to him right up the gut. Looks like it was scraped by Robert Green, the defensive end. And Martino took advantage of it and took that thing the distance. Let's get a quick look at it again. You can see him hand the ball to DiRenzo. Green from behind strips him. And then, of course, Martino takes advantage of it, and nobody's going to catch him in the open field. Nice block at the end there. Malden ready for the 2-point conversion. Got a big fellow in the backfield that looks like Miguel Ortega. He's handed the ball off, and there are just too many Medford Mustangs in the backfield. They stop him. So Coach Papagallo opting to go for 2 to get one of his offensive linemen or defensive linemen an opportunity to feel what it's like to score a touchdown, or actually here a 2-point conversion. He's done it in the past in his 6 years. And the Golden Tornadoes now take a 6-0 lead in the 128th Thanksgiving Day Football Classic. As we move throughout this game, I'm going to bring up some facts from previous Thanksgiving Day games. In fact, a little tidbit of information. This series started back in 1889, and to give you a little bit of an idea of how long ago that was, the Civil War was only over for 10 years. Medford won that initial contest by the score of 34-0. In fact, the first year Malden did win it was 1893, and they were victorious by a score of 18-0. So the Golden Tornadoes are set to kick off once again. Josh Andrews, number 35, is the kicker, back deep. Number 3, Aaron Seeley. Number 13, Carton Lewis. It looks like Corey Moore is back there as well. Strikes the ball, not very deep. Going to collect it at about the 16. Fumbles the ball, picked up by Carton Lewis, and he's going to return it out. Looks like the 36.5-yard line, and they'll take over with a first down and 10. Never got a chance to set the rest of the Malden defense. We talked about the D-line, the linebackers. Number 5, Lincoln Abanda. Number 3, Danley Exelholm. And the middle backer today is number 56, Stephen Bosacote. We'll get to the corners here in a second. Lynch has receivers, 2 on each side of him. Kicks the leg. He's ready for the snap. Quick pass. Ball out to Miles Olivier. He's going to gain a few and make that about 4.5. Out to about the 42-yard line of the Golden Tornadoes. The defensive backs for the Malden High football team are corners Josh Simon, who's a GBL All-Star. Pedro Julio Lugo, who's the other corner. He's a junior. The safeties are TJ Ellie and Jared Martino, who you've already seen in action. Fake pass quickly. Tries to go up over the top. Looks like the ball got tipped or hit or just slipped out of his hand, but that falls incomplete. Brings up about 3rd down and 5.5. Lynch looking over to the sideline for the calls. Everybody gets back. That was Olivier up over the top. Again, receivers set 2 to each side. Lynch calls the snap. Got a player in motion, hands him the football. Actually didn't hand him the football, gave it to Dorenzo up the gut, and he was met in the backfield. Looks like for about a 2-yard loss. Senior captain James Knox right there to meet him, puts the smack down on him, and he goes nowhere. So that's going to bring up a 4th down, about 7. And we'll see what the Mustangs have up their sleeve, because in this area of the field, a lot of times in these games, nothing to lose. You see fakes, so I'm sure Malden's prepared. And boy, as I say it, they do fake it. Olivier around the left end. Looks like Malden not prepared for that. And strange, because I know for a fact that in talking to the coaches, they thought that everything and anything could take place in this football game. If we can, we'll try to roll that back and see what took place over there. But I'm guessing the Malden defensive end didn't contain the outside edge. Yeah, you can see up top, number 21, Anthony Folks. It kind of goes inside, and that looks like what happened there. He didn't contain, and therefore Olivier took advantage of it, giving the Medford Mustangs a first down and 10, and now they're in Malden territory, folks. Kyle Lynch again with receivers on each side. Pump fakes it for the quick screen. Tries to go over the top to Corey Moore, and that ball's incomplete. Well defended by, it looks like, Josh Simon, number 12 for the Golden Tornadoes. Young man's only a junior, GBL All-Star this year. Had 7 interceptions last year, so not sure I'd be picking on him. He's shown the ability to play some good defense. So that brings up a 2nd down and 10 for the Medford Mustangs. Lynch ready to roll, rolls left. Finds his receiver, Olivier, gain of 11 yards. Nicely done by the Medford Mustangs. That's going to bring up a first down and 10. He's knocked out of bounds by number 10, Jared Martino. Medford now has the ball on, it looks like, the 34-yard line of the Golden Tornadoes. They're making hay, they're moving the ball, and they're down 6-0, so they need to put a touchdown on the board to tighten this game up. Another quick pass out to the left-hand side. He's got Corey Moore. Corey Moore is going to gain about 4 yards. He's knocked down there by number 25, TJ Ellie, number 3, Danley Exelholm. That's going to bring up a 2nd down and 6. They're down to the Malden 30-yard line. So Medford not even fazed by that early defensive touchdown that Malden scored. They come out, they got 4 wide receivers to the right. He's in the backfield by himself, Lynch is. Fires it out quickly. Dorenzo has the ball, gets a couple yards. Looks like he gains about 3 or 4. Got it down to the Malden 26-yard line. Looks like going to bring up a 3rd down and about 1. 3rd down, about 1. Lynch has all his receivers to the left of him now. He's the only guy in the backfield. Raises the leg, ready to roll. Runs it right up the gut. Quick quarterback draw. Folks, that's going to be another 1st down. Down to about, Jiminy Christmas, looks like the 22-yard line. 1st and 10. Medford's moving the ball, and it looks like they're ready to respond to that early Malden 6-0 lead. Green, Bosacote, Akeem Pierre all in on that tackle. 1st and 10, Medford Mustangs challenging the Golden Tornadoes in the red zone. Rolls left, fires the ball, looks like it gets tipped. GBL All-Star Danley Exelholm looked like he's the beneficiary of a tip ball. Looks like he's going to go 80 yards for the touchdown, the 2nd defensive score for the Malden Golden Tornadoes. And I'm sure the Medford coaching staff is just beside themselves. Wow, moving the ball in the red zone, ready to rock and roll, put points on the board, and the Golden Tornadoes, once again, tenacious defense, taking advantage of a miscue. Wow. Lynch rolling to his left, and I think we're going to be able to take another look at that. But boy, that Malden defense, again, taking advantage. And that puts the Golden Tornado cheerleaders in motion to celebrate what's now a Malden 12-0 lead in the nation's 2nd oldest continuous rivalry. Somebody rushed Lynch on that pass, tipped it, and of course, Exelholm, Danley Exelholm, number 3, sitting right there ready to rock and roll. So, Golden Tornadoes come out, 2 receivers to the right, double tight, looks like a 2-point conversion. That's interesting. You don't see that every day. Hands it to number 58, James Knox, for the 2-point conversion from his right tackle position. Looked like he did a little pirouette there, and the quarterback, Martino, handed him the ball. Let's go back. Let's look at the play. Quarterback, Lynch, rolling to his left. Yeah, he's rushed by Simpson Laveris, number 7, and then there's Exelholm right there ready to take advantage of it. And, he's a Division I college hopeful, and that 4.5 speed was on display. There was nobody in royal blue and white able to run him down. Let's also take a look, if we can, talking to the folks in the truck here, at the 2-point conversion. Look at the right tackle, if you would. Keep your eye on him. He's James Knox. Yeah, there's his pirouette. Handoff to him. The whole left side is blocked well. And, of course, he's going to get his 2-point conversion, his name in the annals, and get to feel what it's like to put a couple points on the board and get his name in the newspaper. So that makes the score Malden 14-0 here halfway through the 1st quarter. Malden was victorious in the first game of the 1900s by the score of 10-5. Sounded more like a baseball contest. In that game, the Lions, as they were called in those days, Elmer Rice scored the deciding TD before a then-record crowd of 2,500 people. That was back in 1900. Well, Malden's getting set to kick off once again. Josh Andrews' leg must be sore by now, as this is the 3rd kickoff of the game, the opening kickoff, and then the 2 subsequent kickoffs after touchdowns. Back deep for Medford, the same cast of characters. Aaron Seeley's going to take this one. Little room to roam. Getting chased out of bounds by number 20, junior Andy Tam. So Medford will have the ball 1st and 10. They're going to have it about the 20-yard line. In the 1910 version of this contest, Malden won that game 35-0. Gold and Blue ended the season 13-0, and they finalized the season in Providence, Rhode Island by whipping the Rhode Island Tech team there 29-8. So in 1910, I guess Malden was pretty good at 13-0. Looks like Lynch is going to stay at quarterback. The reason I say that is because number 9 took quite a few snaps this year at quarterback, and he may still take some snaps today. Quick pass, tries to hit Olivier, and that's incomplete. Throws the ball a little bit behind him. Going to be 2nd and 10. for the Medford Mustangs. Actually, I said number 9 had been taking snaps at quarterback. It's actually number 8, Ben Antoine, who took quite a few snaps at quarterback. And again, we may see him yet again. Lynch, 2 receivers to each side. He's got Antoine in motion, hands the ball up the gut to Josh Fidosi, number 21, and he's tackled by Lincoln Abanda, Jarrett Martino, and the Mike linebacker, the middle guy, Stephen Bosacote. So that's a gain of 0. That brings up a 3rd down and 10 for the Medford Mustangs. Let's see what the coaching staff for Medford has up their sleeve here. Lynch now has receivers 3 by 1, 3 to the left of him, 1 to the right. Back to pass, quick screen pass. Looks like it's over to Dorenzo, and he's hitting the backfield, folks. He's going to lose a couple yards. That looks like Liberis was there in the backfield waiting for that. That had no chance, and that's -3 on that. So that's going to bring up a 4th down and about 13 yards. In the 1920 contest, Medford recovered a fumble with under 4 minutes, allowing Mustang captain Bob Blair to score the game's only touchdown in a Medford 7-0 victory. Punts away, Olivier doing the job, knocks it all the way down into Malden territory. Nice job. Malden's going to have the ball. First time we're going to see them in a situation other than a 2-point conversion in this contest. Going to quickly try to set the offense. The O-line for Malden is left tackle Mac Bruno, who's a GBL All-Star. The guards are Bosacote, and the other guards, Miguel Ortega. Center is junior Matt Gear, number 59, and the other tackle is James Knox. You've already heard his name called on defense. Tailback's going to be Danley Excaholm. Quarterback Jarrett Martino has 12 touchdown passes on the season. So first play of the game for Malden. Handoff to Danley Exelholm. He's around the left side, and not a lot of room to roam, but boy, he made a lot out of it, and he's a tough customer to bring down. He's a 3-year GBL All-Star, and again, 4.5 40 guy and a Division I college hopeful. The receivers for the Golden Tornadoes are number 25, TJ Ellie, number 12, Josh Simon. Those are the slots. The wideouts, generally Robert Green, number 4, number 5, Lincoln Abanda. They're also at tight end at times. So the sophomore gets his team back to the line of scrimmage. Quick roll right. He's got Robert Green wide open in the flats, fires him the ball. Looks like Robert tried to run with it before he actually caught it, and that's an incomplete pass. That's going to bring up, a 3rd down and 8. Malden has the ball at the 39-yard line. In the 1925 contest, over 15,000 fans watched Malden go undefeated that year, and they tied for the Eastern Mass title when they upended the Medford Mustangs by the score of 13-0. Martino's got the play from the sideline, trots back in. He's got receivers. Looks like he's 2 by 2, although his receiver on the left wing, Ellie, is on the wing. Hands the ball to Exelholm. He tries to get off the left end. Doesn't gain a whole heck of a lot. Looks like about 3 yards. That's going to bring up a 4th down. Has the ball out to the 42, but that is not enough for a 1st down. So Malden's going to have to get in punt formation or not. You never know. But if things go according to Hoyle, they'll punt the ball away here. And as I say that, here comes the punting team trotting on to the football field. 4th down, 5 yards to go for the 1st down. Back deep is number 2, Corey Moore. The punter is Josh Andrews, and he, I guess, does the punting and the kicking duties. The up man or the personal protector is number 25, TJ Ellie, for the Golden Tornadoes. Calls the snap, and they're going to fake it as well, trying to punch a hole through that right side, and it looks like he only got maybe a yard gain. And gee whiz, hard to tell there. Let's take a look at it again. About a yard gain, so not a lot out of that. Certainly Medford made more of their chance when they faked their punt than the Golden Tornadoes did. So now they're going to have a short field. They're in Malden territory. They're on about the 44-yard line of the Golden Tornadoes. And if they keep moving the offense and moving the ball with their offense the way they have been, well, then hopefully they'll be able to cut into this 14-0 Malden lead. In 1929, both teams entered the contest undefeated. Estimated crowd of 18,500 inside the gate and another 2 to 3 grand outside watched Sam Fishman return a 55-yard punt to give Malden another Eastern Mass title in the Golden Blues' 6-0 victory. Medford takes over 1st and 10. First time Corey Moore is in the backfield. Let's see if they actually give him the ball or if he's back there for protection. No, they give him the ball straight ahead. He's tackled by Bosacote and Abanda. Gain of about 4. He's down to the 40-yard line of Malden. And that's going to bring down a 2nd down and 6 for the Medford Mustangs. We talked earlier about there being 10 ties in this series. Well, in 1934, the Malden defense and the great punting of Medford's Torby McDonald were the keys to a hard-fought scoreless tie. So we got Corey Moore in motion, hand the ball ahead to Dorenzo, and he's going to get whacked for about a 1-yard gain. It looks like Bosacote and Danley Exelholm sitting there waiting for him. So that brings up a 3rd down and 5. They got the ball down to about the Malden 39-yard line. Medford looking to the sideline for their coach's instructions. Looks like they have receivers again, 2 to each side. Lynch sets the offense. Olivier's in motion, fakes it to him, hands it to him. The ball's knocked out, picked up by a Malden defender. Looks like number 5, Lincoln Abanda, another GBL All-Star. And wow, he takes it the distance. Another Malden touchdown. Unbelievable, the 3rd defensive touchdown. And folks, this is still the first quarter of the football game. As we take a quick look at it, looks like his man was in motion. I don't know, looks like maybe Dorenzo scraped the ball off his hands going to make a block. And Lincoln Abanda was off to the races. Unbelievable. 55-yard touchdown, fumble return for touchdown. The Golden Tornadoes take the lead now, 20-0. Not sure what I would be thinking if I was the Malden staff, the Medford staff right now. Heck, Malden's only run 3 offensive plays. Medford looks like they've been controlling the entire first quarter. And lo and behold, they look up at the scoreboard and they're down 20-0. So Malden's up 20-0. They've tried to give the ball to defensive linemen here. Ortega, Knox, see what they have up their sleeve. They're going to try it again the other way. Big Mac Bruno, also a GBL All-Star, may have already mentioned that. But it looks like he stopped. I don't know. I thought he reached the ball across. Yep, that extra point they're saying is no good. So Medford has stopped them. They're going to keep the score at 20-0. I'd really like to take another look at that if we could. Look at the left tackle. He's going to do like a pirouette, gets the ball handed to him. Looks like he reaches out, but the referees, heck, this is high school football, so they don't have instant replay. They don't have an opportunity to look up in the booth like we do at it again. And they say perhaps his knee was down before he reached across. So Andrews' tired right leg set to kick off yet again. Malden up 20-0. And geez, you just don't even know what to say. Your heart goes out to the Medford sidelines as they look like they played good football except for 3 plays. And Malden's taking advantage of it every time, returning the turnovers for a touchdown. So Medford has the ball out to the 26-yard line. Let's see if they can make hay and get themselves on the board to cut into this Malden 20-0 lead. 1942 saw Medford go undefeated and win the Eastern Mass Championship. The Mustangs' Hank Corrado's 2 scores led Medford in that contest. That was in 1942. Medford's going to go charging on the field. Let's see what they bring out. Well, for starters, it looks like they got another quarterback. It looks like Ben Antoine, number 8, is at quarterback. He's got receivers 2 by 2, 2 on each side. Quick toss out to Olivier. He's going to gain a handful of yards, and that's going to bring up a 2nd down and 3. Looks like about 7 yards on that play. Pedro Lugo on the tackle on the near sideline. So Medford makes a quick change at quarterback, and we're still in the first quarter. There's only about 3 minutes left in the first quarter, but a lot has happened in that first quarter. Antoine at quarterback has got a 2nd down and 3. Rolls to his left. Got a receiver out there. Misses him. He was intended for Moore, but that was incomplete. It's going to bring up a 3rd down and 3. In 1956, Dominic Fermano scored twice in the Golden Tornadoes' victory that year. They won it 20-6, 1956. Ben Antoine remaining at quarterback. Like I said, he played there a lot of the year. So 3-by-1, have a 3rd down and 3. Calls the signals. Beautiful day here at Hormel Stadium. Going to run it himself, a little quarterback ISO, and I'm not sure if he got the first down. Looked like he might have been stopped a little short. Tackled there by Keen Pierre, Robert Green for Malden. And at 4th and 1, down 20-0, I'm going to have a guess here that they're going to go for it. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. They may be bringing out the punt team, but they've already gone for it and faked the punt. They might just be bringing in the horses. And look, they bring in Bieniemy, a big lad. Put him in the backfield. Patrick Bieniemy, number 66. He's 6'4", 365 yards. So they are going to go for it on 4th down. Give the ball to Matt Sullivan, number 56, one of the linebackers on defense. And Matt Sullivan looks like he's punched a hole in that Malden defense and has a 1st down for Medford. The 1960s version of this historic series opened with the first and only time a team had put up 50 points in a game. Malden co-captain Vic Lemo scored 3 times in a 50-6 romp over the Medford Mustangs. That was 1960. Ben Antoine brings his football team to the line of scrimmage. They have a 1st and 10. They're at the 36, 37-yard line. He's ready to rock and roll. He has receivers, 2 on each side. He rolls right, going to throw the ball again, flips it out. Looks like it's dropped by Olivier. Of course, he was under a little bit of pressure from Jared Martino, who put a hit on him just as the ball hit his hand. So that's incomplete. Falls to the ground, brings up a 2nd down and 10. Malden today playing without a couple defenders. Number 37, Isaiah Likely, is a sophomore, 6'3", 195-pound lad, unable to make it. And in addition to him, starting corner and GBL All-Star for the Golden Tornadoes, Robert Collins, starting corner, unable to play, and that's why Lugo's playing in his place. So quick pass out from Antoine to Corey Moore. That's going to gain 0 as Josh Simon makes a sound tackle on the far sideline and prevents him from gaining another inch after the reception. So that's what's happening in the game of football in this day and age. Spread them and shred them is the terminology that they use, and they like to give receivers the ball in wide open space on the edges and let them do their thing. But Simon was having none of that on that play. In fact, I think that was number 13, Carton Lewis, over there catching the ball. Catching it and being tackled. Rolling to his right is Ben Antoine. He tries Corey Moore on this side of the field to the near sideline, and that's incomplete. Almost picked off, it looked like, by Jared Martino, who jumped up, and maybe he got a piece of it. But, there was a defender underneath, a defender over the top, and a tough one to complete, and therefore it fell to the ground incomplete. So that brings up a 4th down and 10. Olivier's back to punt once again. Golden Tornadoes, Josh Simon back to receive this. Medford unable on that series to move the ball, which is hurting them because down 20-0, they need to make hay quickly. Simon muffs the ball, drops it. Looks like Medford's going to pick it up. And the Medford sideline tells you everything that you need to know on that play. The Mustangs do have the ball. It was like a long pass completion. I don't know if, you could tell by the shadows that perhaps the sun was in Simon's eye and unable to corral it. And that's going to bring up a Medford Mustang 1st down and 10 deep into the Malden territory. Let's look at it again. Olivier gets it off quickly. Simon looks like he has his eyes on the ball, unable to come up with it, and that opportune Medford special teams comes up with the football. So Medford, with Ben Antoine leading them into battle here, 1st and 10. They're at the 25-yard line of the Malden Golden Tornadoes. Let's see what Medford does to try to get on the scoreboard here. Still in the 1st quarter. Antoine takes it, rolls right, looking downfield for a receiver. Looks like everybody's covered, and looks like he's knocked out of bounds. Maybe he gains a yard when it's all said and done, but Green and Martino, or Green and maybe Lincoln Abanda, are right there. I'll tell you, I think maybe he lost a couple yards. So I'm going to say that it's going to be 2nd down and 12. That's going to be a sack for Green and Abanda. And Ben Antoine's going to have to go back to the drawing board. And he quickly brings his team to the line of scrimmage. Receivers, 2 on each side. Flash fakes it to Dorenzo, keeps the ball himself. Hard runner, gains about a yard, gets up to about the 26-yard line. Now it's going to be 3rd and 11 for the Mustangs. Green again on that tackle, along with Martino coming up from his safety spot. So Robert Green having a pretty gosh darn good game. And boy, that looks like that's going to finally do it for this first quarter, which looked like it took forever. But certainly felt like it for the Medford Mustangs as they went down 20-0. And those 3 scores, by the way, all defensive touchdowns. We had Martino pick up a 45-yard fumble recovery for a touchdown and return it. 2-point conversion was no good by Miguel Ortega. Then Malden's Danley Exelholm had an 80-yard interception return. The tackle, James Knox, actually rushed in the 2-point conversion to make it 14-0. And then one more time on defense, Malden did it when Lincoln Abanda scooped and scored a 55-yard fumbled football and returned that for a touchdown. That 2-point conversion also no good by the left tackle that time, Mac Bruno. So Malden after 1 leads 20-0, all 3 defensive touchdowns, and I'm not sure if that's a record or not, but with 128 years under our belt, I'm going to guess it's probably close. So let's see what Medford does here in the second quarter. Quick pass up over the top, TJ Ellie defending. Antoine trying to get that ball to Moore, and Ellie was burnt initially but was able to turn around and rally and play a little bit of defense and prevent that ball from getting complete. And I don't know, I hear the Medford sideline yelling that maybe that was interference, but I didn't see any contact. It just looked like he turned, Ellie did, and got his hands in the air and was able to disrupt. So that's going to be bringing up a 4th down and 11 for Medford. Antoine calls the snaps. He's back to pass again. He's going to run the ball. And he is stopped short of the 1st down. Jorgensen Exelholm that time on the tackle. He's the brother of Danley Exelholm, and he looks like he's playing the left outside linebacker position. In the 1963 game, that was the 76th game, it was played with great sadness as 6 days earlier, President John F. Kennedy had been assassinated. However, Bob Baker did intercept the Mustang pass and returned it 88 yards for a Golden Tornado touchdown, and George Scrimoni recovered the 2-point conversion in the end zone, and Malden had a 8-6 come from behind victory. That was in 1963, the year that President Kennedy was assassinated. So Malden has the ball for the 2nd time on offense. They have it on their own 21-yard line. Receivers 2 on each side. Jorgensen Exelholm now on offense, number 1 here in the slot. He's the kid that ran the 4.38 in the combine, and boy, they're trying to go over the top, and you can see that his blazing speed is tough to contend with. He instantly ran by the safety for Medford and was open, and Martino just overthrew him by a scooch. Otherwise, that would have been another 6 points for the Golden Tornadoes. In the 1964 contest, Paul Finn, who would eventually become the head football coach of the Golden Tornadoes, scored 2 touchdowns in Malden's victory that year. They won the game 24-0. Couple unsportsmanlike conducts, it looked like. And you understand it because this is such a hard-fought rivalry, but you like to make sure that there's some sportsmanship involved as well. So referee's going to stay on top of that rather quickly. 2nd down and 10 for the Golden Tornadoes. Martino bringing the troops up to the line of scrimmage. A little different formation. He's got a bunch formation, 3 tight receivers to his right. He's going to hand the ball off. It's a double reverse. Danley Exelholm got the ball at first, handed it to his brother DJ Exelholm, and it looks like Medford was sitting there waiting for that as they blitzed their backside linebacker. It looked like Sullivan. He was back there waiting for that. So that's a loss of, it looks like 8 yards. That's going to bring up a 3rd down and 18 for the Malden Golden Tornadoes. In 1972, All-Scholastic Medford tailback Mike Colonna ran for a series record 5 touchdowns as the Mustangs beat up on the Golden Tornadoes 38-19. It was legendary Malden coach Bill Tighe's last game at the helm. That was 1972. Malden has the ball. Jared Martino, receivers, 2 on one side, 2 on the other. Back to pass. Has Exelholm again. Jorgensen Exelholm hits him right in the hand, and it looks like Corey Moore barely got a hand in there to knock it out, or that was going to be a long game for Malden. But it's not. Nice job by Corey Moore. Malden's going to have to punt this football. Newly hired head coach Paul Finn took the reins for the following 26 years, starting in 1973. His Golden Tornadoes did him proud by fighting their way out of a 13-0 hole and winning his debut 22-13. So Josh Andrews for the Golden Tornadoes back here to punt. He's deep in his territory. Medford putting pressure on. DiRenzo gets a piece of it, blocks the punt. Wow, exactly what the Medford Mustangs needed in this situation. They blocked the Malden punt. Malden a little weak on both sides of that punt defense team. And we're going to take a quick look at it. He gets pressure from both sides. Yeah, there was a couple Mustangs in that backfield. And heck, I'm not even sure who recovered it, but I'm sure Medford doesn't care who recovered it. But I could tell DiRenzo was the young lad that got his hand on there. So exactly what Medford needed. They're going to take over deep in Malden territory. Ball's all the way down to the 8-yard line. Mustangs going to have it first down and 10. An enthusiastic Medford sideline now. And I don't see either of the quarterbacks in. Looks like they're doing a little wildcat deal. Corey Moore's at quarterback. Moore takes the direct snap, runs right at that Malden defense, and there's nothing to that. He gains maybe 2 yards, 2.5 yards. That's going to bring up a second down and goal for the Medford Mustangs. Now have it down at about the 4.5-yard line. No quarterback coming in the game yet. Looks like Moore is going to stay there between Fedosi and DiRenzo. They're staying Wildcat. 2 receivers to his right, 1 to his left. Moore takes the ball around the right end. Looks like he was stopped initially. Bounced it outside. Gets into the end zone. And that Medford Mustang sideline shows great enthusiasm as they've gotten on the board 20-6. And boy, did they need that. They take advantage of the Malden miscue, or actually their good fortune, as they forced a block punt. Corey Moore, 4.5-yard touchdown run. Medford's on the board early here in the second quarter. Not sure if Medford's going to kick it or go for, well, it looks like they're going for 2. They got Sullivan in the backfield. The big lad, Pat Bienemy, 66, again, 6'4", 365, and Sullivan just follows him right into the end zone. And boy, I think I might run that every play if I was the coach for Medford, because he looks like a tough customer, and he's definitely creating some space. See if we could take a look at that Moore touchdown. We can. He's in the middle, bounces it to the edge. Nobody from Malden sets the edge, and he's in the end zone quite easily. So, 20-8, Malden still has the lead. The kickoff is scooped up. Not sure by who, maybe Josh Simon. And he's going to get the ball up to about the 43-yard line. Actually looked like number 21, Anthony Folks, picked up that football after Wilnick Lubernat's kickoff didn't go very far for Medford. Malden's going to have it first down and 10, 43, 44-yard line, something like that, 43.5-yard line. Jared Martino brings his receivers out 2 by 2, first down and 10, Golden Tornadoes. Hands the ball to Josh Simon around the right edge, and Simon looked like he had something. Boy, if he'd have had another gear and been able to push the gas pedal, he'd have been able to make hay, as it looked like there was plenty of room along this near side. But somebody ran him down from behind, couldn't tell who that was. But they certainly did a good job preventing this from being what looked like to be about a 5 to 10-yard gain. So second down and 10, Malden Golden Tornadoes. In 1978 Super Bowl-bound Medford needed a 19-yard field goal by Franz Ebert to give the Mustangs a 9-7 victory. That was 1978. So Malden has the ball, 2nd down and 10. Receivers either side. Handoff to Jorgensen Exelhomer on the left side. Mac Bruno, great block downfield. Both receivers getting a block to seal the hole. And Jorgensen Exelhomer in his 4.38 840 speed takes it the distance. That is a long scamper. And that's going to make the score 26-8 Malden. 58 yards on the Jorgensen Exelholm scamper, touchdown Malden. So as soon as Medford was able to get on the board, Malden didn't take long. In fact, it only took them 2 to 3 plays here. And they score an offensive touchdown after scoring their first 3 touchdowns defensively. In 1980, Malden quarterback Dan Rayo connected several times with GBL All-Star Edward Fitzgerald, but it wasn't enough as the Mustangs' Mike Tedisco hauled in 3 touchdown passes in Medford's 24-12 win that year. So Malden comes up to the line, 2-point conversion again. Try to dipsy-do with Mac Bruno again, and he's not even coming close to getting that ball over the end line. That 2-point conversion is stopped. Mac Bruno's 2nd attempt at it. Let's look at the touchdown run again. You can see Bruno as an offensive lineman and GBL All-Star doing his job as he drives the defensive end about 7 yards downfield, and Exelholm takes advantage of it and scores the 2nd of 2 Exelholm brother touchdowns on the day. Malden leads 26-8. We're about halfway through the 2nd quarter. So number 35, Josh Andrews, and his tired right leg getting set to kick off. And doesn't look that tired, knocks it all the way back down to the 5-yard line. Corey Moore has it. He's going to test the middle of that Malden special teams and actually bounces it left. Hard run all the way out to the 40-yard line. Gee whiz, Josh Andrews having to make the tackle himself. Got a little help over there from number 25, TJ Ellie. 1st down and 10, Medford Mustangs. They have the ball on about, again, the 40-yard line. And it looks like I see the coaches talking to Lynch this time. So it looks like Lynch is going to pop back out there and play quarterback on this series. 1982 proved to be the final coaching Medford legend Armand Caraviello would do in his series as he retired after the game. His Mustangs sent him off into the sunset in style by whipping up on Malden 29-18. So Medford has the ball, 1st and 10. Let's see what Lynch has up his sleeve. Hands the ball, or throws the ball out to DeRenzo. That's incomplete. He was under pressure. DeRenzo was well covered, and that play didn't have a lot of opportunity to succeed as the Malden defense looked like they were in position to make a play. 1982 was Bud Kelly's first as the Mustang head coach. Running back Warren Olson's 164 yards of rushing helped make it a memorable debut as Medford won for the 7th game in a row by the score of 19-0. Lynch back to pass. Quick completion, but he stuffed for no gain. That was Carton Lewis catching the ball. Simon and Ibanda both in on the tackle for no gain. That's going to bring up a 3rd down and 10 at the 40-yard line. 1983 shows in the annals as a Malden victory, even though Medford won the contest 25-14. But apparently the Mustangs had an ineligible player. But trust me, Coach Finn and his Golden Tornadoes have never accepted this as the official outcome. Medford 3rd down and 10. Lynch rolls to his left, throws the ball. Ball gets tipped. Looked like it got tipped. Captain number 58, James Knox, tips it right into Danley Exelholm's hand, and Exelholm has his 2nd interception return of the game. Unbelievable. That's a 40-yard interception return for touchdown. That now gives Malden a 32-8 lead. And wow, poor Lynch, he just can't get a break. Rolls to his left. We're going to look at it again. Knox is up in there. Jumps up, gets a piece of it. Falls right in Exelholm's hand. Danley Exelholm, little dab will do you. Unfortunately, it brings a flag. But heck, he's having one whale of a game. Josh Andrews is going to fire the point through, and that is good. So the Golden Tornadoes, with only 2 or 3 minutes left here in the first half, are up 33-8 over the Medford Mustangs. Their 4th defensive touchdown of the football game. A Medford win streak was stopped at 8 games as Paul DeMeo scored TDs of 56, 1, and 8 yards. On the ground, Malden captains Guy Prescott, Danny Valeri, and Bob McVicker were vicious defenders for Malden in that 21-6 Golden Tornado victory. Boy, we said it earlier, and I'm sure the sentiment persists here for the Medford staff as they're moving the football pretty gosh darn good, but lo and behold, Malden making some defensive pressures here and there and then taking advantage of turnovers. And boy, the 4th defensive touchdown of the game for the Golden Tornadoes, and they got to be nearing a record with that, as well as how many points have been scored in one half of football in this great rivalry. Josh Andrews set to kick off again, and I know he didn't expect to be kicking the ball off 6-7 times in one half. But here goes again, kicks it deep. Looks like Moore is going to pick that up. And he's making hay again. He's a good football player, folks. A lot of great moves finally brought down by Josh Simon of the Golden Tornadoes, but he's in Malden territory. He's all the way down to about the 44-yard line of the Malden Golden Tornadoes. So Medford not hanging their head. I mean, down 33-8 on the scoreboard, but still playing hard. Corey Moore, nice job, good athlete, couple solid moves, making some people on the Malden sideline, or actually not on the sideline, on that Malden special teams miss, and then getting the ball all the way down in Malden territory, and looks like the 44-yard line is where they called him down. Looks like Lynch is back at quarterback. He's in an empty backfield, or he has his back up on the wing. Number 7, Rafael Rodriguez in motion, hands him the ball, going to try to jet sweep it out to the sideline there. Gains about 4 yards. Looks like he's tackled by Simpson Laberis and Akeem Pierre on that. But gain of 4 yards. Medford's got to do something. They're hurrying up back to the line of scrimmage, bringing up a 2nd and 6. Lynch still at quarterback. He's got an empty set. 3 receivers to the left, 2 to the right. Olivier's in motion, fakes the handoff to him, keeps it himself. And then he punches the right side. Looks like he gains a couple, not a whole heck of a lot of room over there. Perhaps Pierre again on the tackle there. And that'll bring up a 3rd down and 4 for the Medford Mustangs. The 90s got off to a great start for Malden as Eric Marsh toted the pigskin 130 yards and 2 scores. Golden Tornadoes defense was led by Steve Froyo, Christian Fitzpatrick, Dan Bubba Ford, and Walter Fajardo, as well as Mike Giblin, who recovered 2 fumbles and had a pick in that game. Quick handoff to DeRenzo, gaining about 2 yards. Danley Exelholm there to smack him. That's going to bring up about a 4th down and 2 for the Medford Mustangs. Actually didn't gain much at all. It's still about a 4th down and 3.5, 4. And it looks like Lynch looking over to the sideline. The Medford team getting a play from their coach. It's a 4th down and 3.5, 4 play. Lynch has the empty backfield again. Raises the foot, rolls right, fires it out for Olivier. And that's incomplete, covered by Martino tightly over there. Medford's going to turn it over on downs late in the the first half, second quarter. Malden up 33-8. Medford headman Bud Kelly coached his last Turkey Day game in the series in 1993. The Mustangs were unable to contain the potent Malden offense as Golden Tornadoes put big points on the board with a 46-18 shellacking of Coach Kelly's Mustangs. That was in 1993. Malden, 1st and 10. Not exactly sure how much time is left on the clock here in the first half, but they do have a little bit of time to work with. And Martino's going to bring his crew out. He's got, you don't see that every day. He's got 3 receivers left, 3 receivers right. Actually, he looks like he's got the tackles out. Quick pass out to the left. Funky formation. It looks like there was a quick timeout by Medford there. When you don't see something, good thing, you notice real quick so that you could call a timeout, and that's exactly what Medford did. So Looks like the Golden Tornadoes came out in something funky. And again, when you have these Thanksgiving Day games and you have almost 2 weeks to prepare, you never know what the coaches are going to come up with. And that time it looks like Malden had a tight end and a tackle to the left, a tight end and a tackle to the right with slot backs right behind them. They only had a center and 2 guards in front of the quarterback with the back in the backfield, Exelholm. And looks like they were going to try a quick screen, catch Medford off balance. And certainly Medford did the right thing by calling a timeout. So let's see what Malden does to come back out here again, see if they do the same thing or if they go back to their regular offense. While we wait for them to come out, in 1994, new Medford coach Bill Baldini, former Mustang, by the way, led his alma mater to a huge upset win over the Golden Tornadoes. Malden's potent passing attack was held to just 57 yards, and the new Mustang skipper felt the thrill of victory when they won it 6-0. That was in 1994. So Martino's back out there in the same formation. Looks like he's faking the pass out and was trying to go up over the top. Not sure. There was a flag down. Somebody may have moved. In fact, I think now my spotters tell me the tackle, James Knox, wasn't on the line of scrimmage. So Malden's formation came back to bite them in the tail. Medford sacked the quarterback, and Medford made a quick adjustment, a good adjustment. Yeah, there's the motion call on Malden by not being on the line of scrimmage. Medford's going to decline that, and they're going to take a loss there. The Golden Tornadoes are, and they'll have the ball. Second down. Number 30 for Medford, senior Owen Bradley, was having none of that, and he just fired in there untouched and sacked Martino. Didn't work. They tried it, and now they're back out in a regular set. Looks like they got a bunch set to the left, 3 receivers left, 1 receiver right. Martino has it, second down and 18. Hands the ball off to Danley Exelholm. Nothing doing. Danley reverses his direction. He's got a couple blockers out in front. Cuts it back inside, and when it looked like he had absolutely nothing, he makes something out of it, gains about, it looks like 12 yards on the deal. So nice job by Danley Exelholm when it looked like he was going to lose a handful of yards to gain something out of it and give Malden fairly decent field possession, although it'll still be about a 3rd down and 6. Malden's now in the hurry-up offense. Martino looks over to the sideline, calls a play at the line of scrimmage. He's got receivers, 2 by 2. Jorgensen Exelholm on the right wing. Looks like the same exact play they ran before. Look at the blocks downfield. Josh Simon with a great block. And Jorgensen Exelholm is off to the races again. Looks like an identical play from the earlier touchdown run that he had. In fact, it looks like another 58-yarder or 59-yarder. Exact identical play. Heck, when it works, you might as well go back to it. So Malden blocked it well. Medford didn't adjust to that very well. And you have a Malden High touchdown. That makes it 39-8. Not a lot of time left here in the first half, but certainly Malden putting up the points here. Their second offensive touchdown and the second one that Jorgensen Exelholm has scored. So 39-8 Malden late in the first half. 1998 seemed like a fun game to attend, just like this one. As the teams combined for a then record 79 points, Mustangs got the upper hand 47-32. It was also the final tilt for legendary Malden coach Paul Finn, who retired after 26 years. That was 1998. A lot of points in that game as well. Malden tries 2-point conversion again with Mac Bruno. Wow, they're trying to get the big lad in the end zone for that 2-point conversion. Medford's ready. Let's look at this play again. Looks like the identical play. Danley Exelholm gets a nice block. Josh Simon gets a nice block. Lincoln Abanda, nice block out there on the edge. And Jorgensen Exelholm and his Golden Tornado teammates take advantage of it. Now lead 39-8. Josh Andrews again kicking off, and he's getting so warmed up that now he's banging them out of the end zone. So that's going to be a touchback for the Medford Mustangs. They'll take over 1st and 10 from their own 20-yard line late in the first half. They're down 39-8. They got to muster something before halftime to get back in this football game, folks, or it's totally going to get away from them. And I'm going to guess you're going to see some hurry-up, no-huddle offense, and hopefully for them, they'll be able to muster 6 points before they get into the locker rooms. Looks like it's Ben Antoine at quarterback once again for the Mustangs. He's ready to rock and roll. He's going to go quarterback ice, bounces it to the outside, and he gets wrapped up pretty good out there by GBL All-Star, and that's free safety and quarterback Jared Martino, only a sophomore, and is a GBL All-Star. So the future's bright for the Golden Tornadoes as he plays football both sides of the line of scrimmage. Mentioned he had 12 touchdown passes as a sophomore quarterback already, and he's done a heck of a job defensively as well. So that's going to bring up a 2nd down and 8. Antoine calls it. Surprised they ran there. I thought they'd be filling the air with footballs. Thought they'd be going a little bit quicker here as they got to make hay. Antoine fakes the ball, bounces it to the right side. He's going to gain a few yards, gain of 10 yards. And that's going to bring up a 1st down and 10 for the Mustangs. So not terrible. Got the clock stopped because he got out of bounds. 1st down and 10. Ball's going to be now up at the 32-yard line. Their own 32-yard line, albeit. But Ben Antoine and his team looks to the sideline for the call. Raises the leg. He's ready to go. Takes the snap. Quick pass out to Rodriguez. Rodriguez trying to make somebody miss. He does, in fact. Makes TJ Ellie miss. Gets to the outside, then is knocked hard to the ground by number 22, Jake Fox, the linebacker, who was very physical and did a good job of knocking him out of bounds. But that stops the clock. Medford has another 1st down. They're out on to the 43-yard line. Ben Antoine with Dorenzo in the backfield. He's got 3 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Calls the signal. Rolls to his right. Drops the football. Another Malden defender, and I'm not sure who that is. Christian Vitale, number 2, looked like he was going to scoop and score for possibly the 5th defensive touchdown, but somebody must have got him. Let's take a look again. Vitale coming off the edge, has the football right there. Turf monster gets him. Perhaps a sniper in the stands, but he's unable to corral it and go the distance for the touchdown. But heck, Malden has the ball in very good stead. They're only on, it looks like, the 22-yard line. Going to have it 1st down and 10. 2 receivers to the left, double tight end, quick pass out to Jorgensen Exelholm. It's a screen pass, couple blocks downfield. Exelholm's going to make a guy miss, cuts it back to the right, stiffs arm a young Medford defender, and he's in the end zone for a touchdown. Corey Moore looked like he had him at the 2-yard line. Let's look at, if we can, we'd like to look at that again. But he looked like he had a bead on Exelholm at least at the 2-yard line, and he was going to tackle him, but Exelholm did a one-arm stiff arm and kind of pushed them down. And from what I hear, Exelholm not only is a 4'3", 4'8", 4'3", 40 guy, but bench press is about 300 pounds. So that's what makes him a Division I prospect. Touchdown for Malden. That was quick. Fumbled ball in the backfield by Ben Antoine. Vitale picks it up, almost goes the distance, doesn't get there. Martino throws a touchdown pass. It's a quick screen pass out to Jorgensen Exelholm. Scores his 3rd touchdown of the day. And Malden's finally just going to line up and kick extra points here. Here's Josh Andrews. He hooks it to the left. Looks like somebody from Medford got a piece of it. But, yeah, that was blocked. Let's take a look at that touchdown again. You'll see it's a quick screen to the left. There's Exelholm with the ball. Makes a couple guys miss. Couple nice blocks downfield. Corey Moore's got him lined up at the 10. Exelholm just runs through Corey Moore like he's not even there, showing his strength, ability, agility, athleticism, and speed, and scores that touchdown. Malden now leads 45-8. And, folks, that's the most points ever scored in a half of football by one team in this storied rivalry. Just an unbelievable turn of events here. Now listen, in the 2000 game, it pitted an 0-9 Medford team against a 1-8 Malden team. Mustangs won it to save their season. Coach Al Pear's team led that day by Luis Zamora and Angel Ortiz. The Golden Tornadoes' Ricky Bethamley did go over the 1,000-yard mark in that game. And again, that was in 2000. So Josh Andrews, back to kick once again. The Golden Tornadoes up 45-8. Back deep for Medford, Corey Moore. Number 3, Aaron Seeley. And let's see if they can't get something going. There's only about a minute and 45 seconds left here in the half. The poor Medford coaching staff just beside themselves. 5 turnovers leading to 4 touchdowns, and let's make that a 5th one right there. They didn't return that, although it looked like it should have been returned by a senior, Christian Vitale, number 2. But it looks like a sniper's bullet got him from the stands. Here's the kickoff. Corey Moore once again, hard runner, and puts Medford in pretty good field position. He's going to get the ball all the way up to the 36-yard line, and he looks like he's tackled by number 2, Christian Vitale, who's recovered from that phantom sniper's bullet from the stands. He'll live that down by his teammates for years. And by the time he tells the story in 20 years, I'm sure he scooped and scored like everybody else. So that's going to bring up a 1st and 10, Medford Mustangs. We're under 2 minutes. And I can tell you in 2001, Mike Hudd threw for a single-season record 1,571 yards for the Golden Tornadoes. However, Medford running back sensation Julian Mundell was the story of the day that year, rushing for 219 yards and 4 scores in Medford's 34-6 victory. That was 2001. So we got Antoine at quarterback. He's got receivers on both sides of him. Going to run a little quarterback ISO. And he's run out of bounds by number 20, Andy Tam. That's a gain of about 7. Going to bring up a 2nd and 3. Ball's at the 43-yard line, their own 43-yard line. Again, surprised to see them running, but who knows, maybe the Medford coaching staff see something over there and they thought they could break it quickly. In any case, Malden ready for the challenge. 2nd down 3. Antoine has the running back Dorenzo in the backfield with him. 3 receivers left, 1 receiver right. Raises the foot. Going to run another quarterback ISO. Nothing doing. Vitale right there to make the stop. A gain of 2. That brings up a 3rd down and 1.5 maybe. Looking to the sideline for the play. I'd be looking for something over the top if I could. And or maybe they just are trying to run the clock out and get the heck out of here and regroup at halftime, and who could blame them? Empty backfield. Corey Moore's in motion. The ball's handed off to Corey Moore. He's hitting the backfield. Lincoln Abanda has him for a 2-yard loss, it looks like. And nothing doing on that play. Bringing up a 4th down, and now it's about 3.5 yards. That's going to send out the Medford punt team. While they're running out there, the 2002 game may never have been played if not for the entire Malden squad shoveling over a foot of snow off the field and out of the stands. It proved to be the perfect scenario for Malden's first win since 1993. Junior running back Elise Pompoulos ran hard for 149 yards, 23 carries, and a score. All-Scholastic Medford back Julian Mundell never got it going, as Malden's J.D. Papagallo had almost 20 tackles from his strong safety position. So Olivier gets the punt away. Malden gets it caught this time. They're going to have it 1st and 10, about the 36-yard line. And I'm going to guess we're going to see a couple knees being taken, and that'll do it for the half. In 2003, saw Malden shut out Medford in back-to-back games for the first time since 1958 and 59. Golden Tornadoes back Jamal Wood scored the game's only touchdown on a jet sweep. Malden's 7-0 victory was secured defensively by future NFLer Breno Giacomini, who had 4 sacks, and his defensive mates Rob Quigley, Sam Nelson, and Kevin Newhall. Coach Al Parr announced his retirement right after the Mustangs' loss. So Malden has the ball. Quick handoff to Christian Vitale. He goes around the left side, right off that group of bunch receivers over there. Gains about 13-14 yards, and that's a quick Malden 1st down. And believe it or not, with Malden up 45-8, that is their first offensive 1st down of the half. Believe it or not. So Christian Vitale does what he's supposed to do. He stays in bound. Therefore, the clock can tick out, and the end of this half can be all done. Malden's going to go in the locker room feeling pretty gosh down good, up 45-8, while the Medford Mustangs are going to have to go in their locker room, do some soul searching, some looking in the mirror, and hopefully come out and make this a competitive football game in some way, shape, or form. But Coach Nascimento has done a pretty good job with these lads, and I wouldn't put it past them. Let's see what happens when we come back for the second half. Okay, we're back for the start of the second half, and Medford comes out kicking the ball off, and they try an onside kick, and it's quickly recovered by number 7, Simpson Liberis, who looks like he's sitting there waiting for it. So, yeah, Medford for the first time kicking off today. For the second time kicking off today, and Malden knowing that they needed an onside kick and they were prepared for it. So Malden's going to take over in pretty good field position. Looks like they're at the 49-yard line of Medford. Let's face it, to start this second half, Malden has one goal in mind, and that is to protect the football in the lead, and Medford has one thing in mind, and that is to create some turnovers themselves and to hopefully have as good a half as Malden had in the first half to get this game to be a tight, competitive football game. So Malden takes over 1st and 10. They're at the Medford 49-yard line. Martino's the quarterback, got Danley Exelholm in the backfield, hands it to him, tries the left side. Not a whole heck of a lot there. Gains a couple yards. He's down to the 47-yard line. Josh Fedosi there on the tackle. In 2004, Malden fielded one of the largest offensive lines in the series history and dominated by running the ball on all but one offensive play. Maurice Rodriguez, Brendan McNellis, Brian Mello, James Bertowhite, and All-State Top 26 award winner Kevin Newhall paved the way for TD runs by Jamal Woods, who ran for 13 carries and 117 yards and 2 scores, Anthony Papagallo, and Ronaldo Bloodworth. Medford's only score in 28-6 defeat was a Kevin Krasko to Kamal McGarish 9-yard touchdown pass. Malden runs the ball again. Looks like he hands it off to Danley Exelholm once again. He's only gaining looks like about a yard on that play, maybe 2, and Malden's going to have it 3rd down and 7, balls down to the 46-yard line. Yeah, if I was Malden, I probably wouldn't be throwing the ball too much there. A lot of running, a lot of letting the clock run, and just let this contest be over the way it stands right now. Heck, I'd be happy with a 45-8 victory if I was the Malden coaching staff. So a different formation for Malden right now. They're 2 receivers on each side, but they're all kind of tight. That's Jorgensen Exelholm in motion to the left. Quick toss to Danley Exelholm. Doesn't get a couple blocks that looks like what he needed out there, and he's pretty much tied up. Couple defenders for Medford come up and make nice plays, and it looks like there's a gain of maybe 1 again. So that's going to bring up a 4th down and 5 for the Golden Tornadoes, and nice job by Medford. Look like they know that Malden's going to predominantly run the ball, and they're ready for it. The sophomore quarterback comes running in with the play, and it looks like Malden's going to go for it. I don't see the punt team in there. No, they're not. They're in that bunch formation, bunch to the right, single wide receiver out here, Abanda to the left, and it looks like they're handing it to Danley Exelholm. Another reverse attempt to Jorgensen Exelholm, and Medford's just sitting there waiting for that. Backside backer blitz. Looks like they have that well scouted out, and that reverse goes nowhere. In fact, they lose a couple yards. So Medford, to their credit, they're sitting there ready. They're well coached. They're ready to play that. If they could just not turn the ball over, they'll be good to go here. Now they need a score to, tighten this game up a little bit and put a little bit of pressure on Malden. Looks like Ben Antoine is running in there to play quarterback. He's got Corey Moore. Well, he's got an empty backfield. So he's got 3 receivers to the right, 2 to the left. Corey Moore calls the play. Corey Moore is in motion, gets the football on a little bit of a jet sweep. Martino's out there to make sure he doesn't go very far. He gains about 6, though, and they're going to have a 2nd and 4 down at the 39-yard line of the Golden Tornadoes. Again, a little surprised to see the Mustangs running the football. Heck, you're down 45-8. Nice patience on their offensive coordinator and head coach, being patient, just continuing to run their game plan. I got to feel like I'd be impatient and trying to throw the ball all over the park. But that, Malden's been there and defended. In fact, he's back to pass. Antoine to Olivier. Olivier makes a Malden defender miss. He's off to the races. And look, there's a touchdown. So maybe that's the direction to go in. Olivier catches the ball, makes a couple Malden defenders miss. Nice pass by Ben Antoine, and the Medford Mustangs score the first points of the second half. They cut it down to a 45-14 lead. Medford looks like they're lining up for the two-point conversion. They got Bienemy in the backfield, and like I said the last time they ran this, they just plowed it straight ahead. So that's Sullivan in the backfield. Looks like he's going to run left, throwback, run right. Throwback to his left. Malden's sitting there waiting on that, and that's incomplete. So that's going to keep the score exactly where it was, 45-14. Let's look at that play again. There's a fake run to DiRenzo. Pass to Olivier. Makes two Malden defenders miss. Sprints to the left edge, and that's a touchdown for the Medford Mustangs. So good job. Coach Nascimento has to be pleased that his team is instantly on the board and at least making a good showing. Onside kick again, and the ball goes out of bounds. Robert Green looked like he was ready for it anyway, but that's going to be Malden ball on that onside kick. Malden will have it first down and 10. In 2005, the 7th-ranked Malden Golden Tornadoes got off to a slow start, but boy, did they finish fast. Senior captain and quarterback Anthony Papagallo hit junior Derek Vitello Frenny on the last play of the first half to give Malden a 12-point halftime lead. The second half was all Malden. All Scholastic Jimmy Cherry would go over the 1,000-yard mark on his very first rush of the second half, toting the ball for a 65-yard touchdown run. Vitello Frenny scored on a 25-yard run of his own, then got to the promised land again on a 29-yard interception return. That was 2005. You see, more fun stuff happened in that game. But let's watch this play first. Ellie in motion. He's in the backfield. Martino has two backs with him. Hands off to Exelholm. Big hole over the left side. 11 yards. Tackled by the back of the shoulder pads there and maybe even a helmet. We may see a penalty coming up here to add and tack on to that. I'll continue on with that 2005 game. The Malden defense was monstrous in this game as well, allowing only 2 small completed passes and only 40 yards of total offense all day. Captains Winston June, Anthony Papagallo, Brendan McNelson, along with Sam Guillaume, Troy Njemi, and David Ville shut the Mustangs down completely. Their only score coming on a Kamal McGarris 85-yard kickoff return. Malden sent Division I Coach of the Year, Rich Cullen, to his retirement in style by beating Medford that day 39-6, and that was in the 2005 game when Malden was ranked 7th in the state. So after the referees tack on the penalty yardage, Malden has it 1st and 10 at the Medford 24-yard line. Double tight, double backs in the backfield. Hand off to Danley Exelholm again. His whole team's pushing. Gains about 4 yards. They're going to have it 2nd and 6 at about the 21-yard line. In 2006, Malden first-year head coach John C.J. Lepresti brought his 3-6 Golden Tornadoes to McDonald Stadium to face an 0-10 Mustang team. Coach Mike DeFelice's Medford squad refused to have the first 11-loss record in history as Sean Foley booted 2 field goals, one of them in overtime, to give the Medford Mustangs the upset win 17-14. That was in 2006. So Martino bringing his team to the line of scrimmage, double tight, double flankers to the right. Danley Exelholm in the backfield. It's a 2nd down. Hands the ball to TJ Ellie. Ellie tries the middle of that Medford defense. Not a whole heck of a lot. Maybe a gain of 2. So, yeah, since the 45-14 score indicates to the Malden staff that they need to really run the clock out, they are grounding and pounding it right now, seemingly running it on every play to keep the clock rolling and making sure that Medford has little opportunity to come back in this football game. So instead of going to the hurry up or looking to the sideline like Medford does, Golden Tornadoes are getting in a huddle. Quarterbacks running to the sideline. They're trying to take every minute of this clock. There's Ellie in motion again. He's in the backfield. Quick flash fake to him. The ball gets knocked out of Martino's hand, or it gets pitched out to Exelholm, who picks it up on the bounce, and he's going to score. That's a 19-yard touchdown run, but I do see a flag on the field, and that may nullify, and yeah, it does. It's going to nullify, and the quick look from the referee to the Malden sideline indicated that it was a hold. So that is going to nullify that 19-yard touchdown run by Danley Exelholm. Danley's trying to catch up to his brother DJ, who already has 3 touchdowns. Danley has 2 himself. Let's take a look at it again. You can see he flashes it. And then, I don't know if he wanted to keep it or pitch it, but it looks like a pitch was the option, but the ball might have got knocked out of his hand. But Danley Exelholm, great awareness, scoops and scores the ball and gets into the end zone. But somebody over there grabbed a Medford Mustang, and you're not allowed to do that, and they were flagged for it. So from the spot of the foul, that makes it a 3rd down and 1. And again, Malden just lining up, getting in a huddle, taking up every second they possibly can so that they can take the air out of the clock and make sure Medford doesn't come back in this thing. Martino calling the snap. TJ Ellie back to the backfield again. Quick handoff to Danley Exelholm. He's met in the backfield. Boy, 3rd and 1. I think he lost a yard. Forget the first down. He didn't even get back to the line of scrimmage. So that's a loss of a yard on that play. Great defense. Looks like number 68, Adam Ferragamo, was in the backfield. And he did the dirty deed for Medford and stopped Malden in their tracks. Malden's running out the field goal team. It looks like Josh Andrews, who we've already seen has a pretty good leg, and certainly a leg that's warmed up, is going to attempt what looks like a 33-yard field goal. Snaps good, snaps down, looks good. And boy, he must not have missed that by much. It looked good from my angle, but the referee signaled that it's wide. You can see from the Medford players that that is no good, and they're going to take the ball over on downs right there, 1st and 10. We're going to take a quick look at it. You can see the snap's pretty good. The hold's good. The kick is strong, probably good from 45, 50 yards out, but just a touch wide left. So that's a 45-14 Malden lead. Antoine puts Olivier in motion, keeps the ball himself, runs around the outside. Danley and DJ Exelholm, actually that's DJ Exelholm, laying the smack down on him, throwing him down to the line, and that's a couple-yard gain, and that'll be it. Actually, it's more than a couple. He gains about 6, it looks like, on that. He's out to the 26-yard line. That's going to bring up a 2nd and 4. See what Medford does here. 2 by 2, the receivers are. He's got Lorenzo in the backfield with him, does Antoine. Calls for the snap. He's got Olivier in motion. Fakes it to him. Ball thrown over the top. Dive by Martino to knock it down, but he's got Corey Moore. Corey Moore is going to take it the distance, folks. That's going to be a 74-yard touchdown reception. So, nice play by Medford. They know they need to get the ball in the end zone multiple times to make this a football game. He flash fakes the ball on a jet to Olivier and then fires over the top to Corey Moore. Again, that covers 74 yards. Great pass by Benjamin Antoine. Olivier catches it. A diving attempt at knocking it down by Jared Martino does no good. Doesn't get a finger on the ball. And the Medford Mustangs once again lining up for the 2-point conversion. Sullivan in the backfield behind Bieniemy and the boys again. Smashes it straight ahead. And that's going to increase the lead to, well, not going to increase the lead, but increase the amount of points they have to 45-22. Again, there's the replay of it. It looks like number 25, TJ Ellie, forgot that he was supposed to be covering on that play. Martino tried to get over there and put a stop to it, but to no avail. Another onside kick. Another recovery by Simpson Laberis. Medford looks like they need to try something else because Laberis is having none of that. He's prepared. Looks like he has very good hands and enough chutzpah to go with it to jump in there in the midst of all those Medford Mustangs and recover the ball to protect it for Malden. But let's face it, it's been all Medford this half, folks. Malden was up 45-8. Now it's a 45-22 game, so good job by Medford, not giving up, not putting their head down, coming out this second half and deciding to play some football. Let's see if Malden decides to keep the ball on the ground or if they feel like they need to score some more points now. There's TJ Alley in motion. Martino, in fact, he is back to pass. He's rolling right, got some pressure. He's under pressure, loses the football. He's going to be sacked. It looks like, let me see, hard to tell who's back there, but we'll get it figured out here in a second. That's a loss of 13. Looks like Sullivan was coming in from his linebacker position and got the sack on Martino. So that's a loss of 13, or all the way back down to the 40-yard line. That's going to bring up a second down and 23 for the Malden Golden Tornadoes. So Medford, sideline, coaching staff, players on the field, and the fans starting to get rowdy here as the Mustangs have not put their head down. They are playing some football, and they're making a contest out of it. Let's see what the Golden Tornadoes have up their sleeve to try to offset the momentum here of the Medford Mustangs. Martino comes back. He's got that bunch set here to the near side, hands the ball off. They try that reverse again, and boy, they need to quit trying that reverse. That's not working. Josh Simon this time tackled in the backfield. He loses, it looks like 15 yards. So in 2 plays, the Golden Tornadoes have lost a total of 28 yards. That brings up a 3rd down and 38 for the Malden Golden Tornadoes. And look at the sidelines for Medford. I'll tell you, sometimes when you're down in a football game, it's hard to get the troops to get back up and believe. And it's also hard sometimes when you're up so big to keep your team from playing underneath itself. And what I mean by that is not realizing that you actually have to play football and be competitive to win the football game. Because when you take the foot off the gas pedal, sometimes it's hard to put the foot back down on the gas pedal. And it looks like Malden's having a hard time doing that right now. So I could see the coach and the quarterback talking on the sideline. Here comes Martino, and be very interested to see what they have here. Either draw a screen, usually what teams do, or try to fire one deep, something along those lines. But certainly I don't think he has a 3rd and 38 play in the book. Malden's going to be 2 receivers right, 2 receivers left. Martino looks like he's going to hand the ball off to Jorgensen Exelholm. He tries the left side. No avail. Medford's sitting there waiting for him. He probably loses a yard on the deal. So that's 3 consecutive plays where the Golden Tornadoes have lost yardage. Medford pumped up, ready to rock and roll. Force a 4th down and about 39. And do you think they'll be coming on this play? They've already blocked the punt. I can see them putting the whole 11 guys up there and trying to get a piece of this one again. So we'll see what Malden can do to stop that vaunted Medford special teams. Medford doesn't have every single one of their defenders back in front of the Malden line. I don't know what happened there. It looks like Malden was in motion on that play and loses 5 yards. So not only did they start off in poor field position, but somebody moved on that line, and now they got another 5 yards they got to cover here. So here it goes. Josh Andrews in punt formation and another penalty. I'm not sure what happened on that. Looks like they're pointing back the Medford way. It looks like somebody from Medford was offside. So looked like the big guy, Bienemy, may have been over the line of scrimmage, and Malden's going to get at least those 5 yards back. So, yeah, those yards get marched off back the other way. We're back where we started from, but still a long way to go for a 1st down for Malden. Got to punt it away. Corey Moore, number 2, the only Medford Mustang back, just in case this thing gets whacked deep. But Medford's got all 10 guys on the line of scrimmage. They come, and somebody does get through. It looks like Fedoshi. He blocks it. Picked up by Sullivan. He's in the end zone, folks. Unbelievable turn of events. This 3rd quarter has been all Medford. They scored their 3rd touchdown. They block the punt attempt. Sullivan picks it up, scoops it up from 14 yards out and scores. And that is going to tighten this game up when you thought it couldn't be. Almost cuts the score in half, 45-28. Good job, Medford, making a game of it, and Malden better get their act together real fast, folks, or they're going to find themselves in a lot closer football game than they could have ever anticipated. Now the Medford cheerleaders are getting the crowd fired up as momentum is fully on the Medford Mustang side. Mustangs come out in the same formation. Sullivan looks like he's going to run. He stops, he pops, he hits number 36, Mac Parazzo, and that's a 2-point conversion. That increases the lead to 45-30. Look at the Medford Mustangs making a football game of it. Let's look at this again. Let's look at the pump block. You could see Vidoshi coming off the edge, getting his hands on it. Sullivan right there, being able to scoop and score it. And if we can, let's take a look at the extra point as well. Looks like Sullivan's going to run that thing. I think we have that. Yeah, the truck says we're going to get that. Watch Sullivan fake the run and then pop it real quick to the left tight end, Parazzo. And that's a nice job. And needless to say, the fans and the sideline for Medford going wild. Another onside kick. Simpson Laveris right there for it again. Medford needs to probably try somebody else. He looks like he's well prepared and got the sticky glue hands to prove it. In the 2008 game, it was the Nicky Hoyt show. Tough as nails back, ran for 153 yards and a touchdown to lead Malden to a 33-22 victory. It was the first ever 11-loss season for the Mustangs. Malden finished 5-6 and ultimately 6-5 when an earlier season loss turned into a forfeit victory. Outgoing head coach John Lepresti also got a couple Shakira Semexant to Herban Zantanor touchdown passes. That was in 2008. Let's see what Malden's got. Jared Martino at quarterback. Looking to the sideline, looks like somebody from Malden forgetting to get on the field. Not exactly sure. Wrong formation, something along those lines. But they're getting their act together now, and let's see what they got up their sleeve. 3 receivers to the right for Martino, 1 receiver to the left. First down and 10. They're at their 47-yard line. Puts Jorgensen Exelholm in motion. Quick toss to Danley Exelholm. Nothing doing. Somebody in the backfield, but of course Danley Exelholm never goes down on the first hit. But he did lose 6 yards as it looked like number 13, Carton Lewis, was in the backfield there. Or, yeah, looked like number 13, Carton Lewis, the cornerback, coming up to make the hit on Danley Exelholm. So Malden offense going backwards pretty much this third quarter, folks. Boy, I'll tell you, this Malden team better wake it up. If they were a car, they'd be stalled out on the side of the road. The Medford Mustangs have come to play this second half. They didn't hang their head. Take your hat off to their coaching staff and their players. The crowd is into it. Martino's got to play. He's taking his Golden Tornadoes to the line of scrimmage here. It's 2nd down and 16. He's got 2 receivers to each side. The running back, Danley Exelholm, to his left. He's back to pass. Throws a strike to Jorgensen Exelholm, but it's blocked, knocked down by Carton Lewis. Great play by Carton Lewis, because I'll tell you what, Martino was right on the money on that, and Exelholm looked like he had it caught, and that would have been close to a first down, and nice job by Carton Lewis to compete at the point of attack. Yes, sirree. Malden is on their heels. Medford is on their toes. And it couldn't be any more evident than it is with this 45-30 coming from behind as Medford was down 45-8 at halftime. Martino, again, receivers 2 by 2. Danley Exelholm, the running back on the right side. He's back to pass, steps up, flushed out of the pocket. Looks like Parazzo's got him in the backfield. Another loss. That's a sack, -5 on the sack. And Medford's going to force another punt, and you can bet they'll be sending another 11 or 10 guys at this to try to get it blocked again, folks. The 2009 game saw one of the largest Hormel Stadium crowds in years as both teams were looking to avoid a season-ending loss in what were pretty good seasons. New Malden head coach Joe Papagallo's squad ultimately came out ahead. Coach Rico Deliacono's Mustang by the score of 13-7. Malden scored on a pass from Semexant to Ramon Vichys from 17 yards out. Medford countered with an Alex Krasko 9-yard keeper. The point after attempt made it 7-7 at half. A 4-yard Nicky Hoyt TD gave Malden the final 13-7 margin, but Frankie Dunn's defensive play from his cornerback position preserved the victory for the Malden defense. That was 2009, giving Coach Joe Papagallo his first victory in his first game coaching in the rivalry. So here we go again. Malden in punt formation, and I'll tell you what I do see is quite a handful of different lads out there for Malden. It looks like Jorgensen Exelholm's in there, Danley Exelholm, Lincoln Abanda. Looks like they have the second string players that are normally the punt team, and it looks like now they've put in some of their starters out there to be on that punt team to make sure that they can do that, and that's simply get the punt kicked. So Josh Andrews handles it, gets it knocked, and Medford's going to take over at their own 35-yard line. I jumped over a few years in this long rivalry, but I'll tell you, 1987 was a good one. That was the 100th game. Malden drove to an undefeated 8-0 Greater Boston League Championship, its first in 12 years, and its best record in over 25 years, won a 28-0 victory in the historic 100th game played at Hormel Stadium before a huge crowd. In fact, the coverage was by sports commentator Bob Costas. A pregame pep talk to Malden by former Tornado legend Dave Moulton appeared on national television that day. Lawrence Hicks ran for 118 yards and scored 2 touchdowns. Billy Roderick passed for 152 yards, including a 46-yard toss to Carmen Capuccio. Roderick also scored a TD, and J.P. Kelly had an interception for Malden, not return. Chris Forbes and Joe Mucci both recovered fumbles, which set up Malden touchdowns. Leading the defense were all Scholastic and NFL-bound Danny Jones. Also, Brian Hatch, Nick Frenny, and Michael Bryan had great defensive games that day. That was the 100th version of the game, which took place in 1987, a Malden victory. Well, that's the end of the third quarter, folks. We're going to spin it around. Third quarter was all Medford. And take your hat off to Coach Nascimento and his staff for making sure his team didn't drop their head, came out. They're making it a football game, and Malden better wake the heck up or they're going to find themselves quickly in a tie game. Ben Antoine at quarterback. He's in the empty set again. No running back. Calls the snap count. That's Rodriguez in motion. Flash fakes it to him. Looks for somebody up over the top. Flushed out of the pocket. He's going to be hit out of bounds. Knocked out of bounds over there by Jake Fox and Pedro Julio Lugo. Gain of about 6 for the Mustang quarterback. 2nd and 4. Have the ball on about the 40-yard line. 2010 was a one-sided affair as the Golden Tornadoes shut Medford out 29-0. The score was only 7-0 at half, and that score was performed by 6', 305-pound lineman Aaron Samano on a tackle around, pretty much what you've seen today. Second half was more of Malden's stout defense, led by juniors Witchy Valance Exelholm, the brother of Danley and DJ, Jamie McInerney, and Austin Teal. That's an Antoine run right up the gut. He gains a couple, stopped by Green and Danley Exelholm. In that 2010 game, Kevin Valley hit Frankie Dunn for a 29-yard strike and then ran one in from 5 yards out himself before Kenny Metalis capped Malden, scoring off with an 8-yard run. So Moore keeps. He looks like he's at quarterback in a little bit of a wildcat deal, and he's not going to gain much. In fact, he stopped right at the line of scrimmage, so that 3rd and 1 is going to quickly turn in to 4th down and maybe 2. He might have lost a yard. So good job by Malden. James Knox in there, nice and low, making a tackle and stopping the tailback Moore, who's sitting there in the wildcat at quarterback. Brings up a 4th down and 1. I don't know. Looks like they're going to have a measurement on this. While we're waiting for the measurement, let's talk about the 2012 game. One of the largest crowds in years because it was the 128th version of the game. It was held at McDonald's Stadium. It was a beautiful day, 40 degrees, sunny. Malden won that game 32-6, a capture at 6 straight behind the passing of senior quarterback Jacob Martino. He's the older brother of Jared Martino. He completed 12 of 23 for 123 yards on that day. Junior Reggie Telemack led Medford from the quarterback spot with 89 yards rushing. He scored Medford's only TD on an exciting 54-yard run to open the third quarter. Junior Malik McLaren finished with 72 yards on 14 carries. Senior Rodney Blaze scored 2 TDs for Malden on a 3-yard run in the second quarter, 5-yard pass from Martino in the third. And junior Ray Sanders still opened the scoring with the first quarter 1-yard TD plunge. Senior captain Paul Kiernan caught a 2-point conversion pass from Martino, made it 8-0 lead. Senior Patrick Provatola also played a great linebacker position, caught himself a 2-point conversion as well on that day. Sanders still ended up scoring 2 TDs that day. That was in 2012. So 4th down and 1. Medford again going to that power formation. Medford's GBL All-Star Matthew Sullivan pounds it off the right tackle, gains the 2 yards needed. Medford's going to have it 1st and 10. Let's watch it again. Calls for the snap. Looks like he's going to follow Bieniemy. Bieniemy never gets out there in front, but he doesn't need it as Matt Sullivan pounds it ahead. 1st and 10 for the Medford Mustangs. Antoine still at quarterback. He has receivers 2 on each side of him. Rolls left. He's back to pass. He's under duress. He's going to avoid being sacked. Ends up running the football. Gains about 6 yards on the play and is tackled over there by DJ Exelholm and Jared Martino. Should have been sacked, but able to have enough speed and agility to get out of there and pick up 4, maybe 5 yards on it. Looks like it's going to be 2nd down and about 5.5, 6 yards. So Medford needs another touchdown to make this game even closer. Ben Antoine's at quarterback. Quick pass out to Olivier. Olivier corrals the ball, tries to go somewhere, goes nowhere. Martino comes up from his free safety spot and just levels him. So that's going to be a gain of maybe -1. Caught the ball 1 step deep in the backfield. And, yeah, they're moving the sticks back a little bit. So nice job by Martino to read that, not only read it, but make sure he wrapped up. Medford looks to the sideline. They need guidance. It's 3rd down and 7. They're down in this football game 45-30, but boy, they've made a valiant attempt at coming back this second half. Been all them since the opening kickoff in the second half. Ben Antoine has 3 receivers to his left, running back to his left. Another receivers to his right, calls for the snap. Gonna run it himself. Gonna gain maybe a yard. Lincoln Abanda, Danley Exelholm right there to put the stop to him. Yeah, maybe he gained a yard. He's got the ball up to the 49-yard line, didn't quite make the 50, and that's going to bring up a 4th down and 5 or 6. Really, as we gain ground on the end of this football game, they really have no choice but to go for it. So Antoine's back there at quarterback. See what they have going here. He's going to roll left. He's got some good protection, people in his face, and boy, that's almost picked off again. Josh Simon, and it wouldn't have been a good idea to pick it off diving because he'd have lost yards on it, but the fact that Antoine was under pressure, looked by Lincoln Ibanda, ready to sack him, made him throw the ball quicker than he wanted to, might have even gotten a piece of it and knocked it down, and Josh Simon made a play on the ball. So Malden's going to take over on downs right there. They're going to be in Medford territory, just on the Medford side of the 50-yard line. You wouldn't want to see anybody run up the score, but I would feel certainly at 45-30 that Malden may want to get one more score on the board and then play some good football from here on out to feel good about things. You don't want to put 50 up, but you got to do what you got to do to win the game. So Martino comes out. He's got Jorgensen Exelholm in motion. Back to pass, quick swing pass to Danley Exelholm. Looks like he's going to be hit for a loss in the backfield. He's off to the races. He's around the left side. And boy, don't even get the words out of my mouth, and Malden puts that exclamation point touchdown on the board. So quick score. Danley Exelholm swung out of the backfield. Martino throws his 2nd touchdown pass of the game. Exelholm scores his 3rd touchdown of the game. He and his brother combined have 6 total touchdowns on the game. And the Golden Tornadoes go ahead, and they do extend the lead, and they make it 52-30. Actually, 51-30. They need to get this Josh Andrews extra point to make it be 52-30. Well, I wonder if they they feel strange because they tried all those 2-point conversions early with the big linemen, and they probably could use all those points as Medford has come back here. But anyway, the extra point attempt is good by Josh Andrews. That does make it 52-30. Let's watch the play. Jorgensen in motion. Quick swing out to Danley. Should have been sacked. Couple good blocks out there, including DJ Exelholm making a nice block for his brother out there, and Danley's off to the races. So Golden Tornadoes do what they need to. They extend the lead. They slow down the momentum that Medford had this entire half. They're the first team to score in the fourth quarter, and they extend the lead to 52-30. In fact, I'm being told here that this is the most points ever scored in a Malden-Medford game. So 128 years later, you're watching history, folks. 52-30. The 82 points are the most scored since 1998 when they combined for a record 79 points. So you're watching history. Kind of neat. Let's see if Medford, which there's plenty of time in the fourth quarter. I mean, I think there's 9 minutes left here in the fourth quarter. Josh Andrews set to kick off. I mean, I wouldn't put it past them. Medford hasn't hung their hen yet. I don't think they plan on hanging it now. The kickoff is bounced down the middle of the field. Seeley looks like, or Corey Moore is trying to corral it. He's been a tough customer. Nice return. He's tackled out at the 30-yard line. Looks like Josh Simon and TJ Ellie both put the stop on him, and Medford's going to have their ball 1st and 10 from about the 30-yard line. In 2013, Malden scored as many points offensively or defensively as they did offensively. Now, that's all changed after today, obviously. But in that game, Malden won 16-0. There was a 21-yard touchdown run by Ray Sandristill. That was 6-0 until Jensen Ayuk popped Xavier Gibson defensively, forced the ball loose, and then ran the ball in for a 2-yard safety to make it 8-0 at halftime. Ayuk struck again when he intercepted a ball off Reggie Talamak, returned it 58 yards for a pick 6, and then quarterback Lavenge Francois ran it in for a 2-point conversion for the 16-0 final. So Rodriguez goes around the right end for a jet sweep, gains about 6. Tackled by DJ Exelholm brings up a 2nd and 4. Medford has it on the 36-yard line. Ben Antoine at quarterback looks over for the signal. Receivers, 3 on his left side. He's in the empty backfield. 2 on his right side. Olivier this time in motion. Fakes the handoff to him. Keeps it himself. Gains a couple. Make that 3.5. And that's going to bring up a 3rd down. I don't know. Actually, he looks like he stepped out of bounds over there. So it looks like he gained 1. That's going to bring up a 3rd down and 3 for the Medford Mustangs. Malden coach Joe Papagallo watched this team score one of the quickest TDs in the series history when junior Ray Sandristill jumped on a loose ball in the end zone on Medford's first play from scrimmage. In the Golden Tornadoes' 36-0 victory, junior quarterback Jake Martino lit the Mustangs up for 3 TDs in the air. He finished the year with the 2nd highest yardage total in Malden history, throwing for 1,550 yards and 19 touchdown passes. He also found Exelholm, and that is Witchy Valance Exelholm, Garvin Sias, and Franklin Wen for scores in this one. Malden, O'Shane McCreath got to the 1,000-yard mark in that game. Malden finished 6-4 for that year. So that was a few years back when DJ and Danley's older brother, Witchy Valance Exelholm, and Jared Martino's older brother, Jacob Martino, were doing their damage for the Golden Tornadoes. Medford has the ball. 4th down, have no choice to go for it. Flash fake. Antoine keeps the ball around the right edge, and looks like he made DJ Exelholm miss. He's going to go all the way for the touchdown, it looks like, folks. And wow, pretty good speed himself if he's breaking that thing away from Jorgensen Exelholm. Nice job by Ben Antoine. That's a 63-yard touchdown run, and Medford hasn't packed their tents. They haven't gone away. They're still in this one. Let's take a look again. Flash fake to Dorenzo to the left. Pulls it. The free safety is a little lackadaisical. Jared Martino getting over there, and he runs right by everybody. So looks like somebody took the play off, and Medford did not, and therefore they scored a touchdown, and they make this a lot closer game than anybody anticipated it would be in the second half. So Sullivan, 2-point attempt again, tries to follow Bieniemy in, and the Golden Tornadoes stuff it. They stop it, score 52-36. The points keep piling up, and I'm sure Malden, not sure what to do at this point in time, but there's still time left in this football game. I mean, we're at the 6-minute mark, and they better do something to stem the tide, or Medford, who knows? They recover one of these onside kick. You never know. Talk a little bit about last year's game. Another classic, throw out the records, upset win that few saw coming, except for those on the Medford sidelines, of course, under a full cover of snow, over a foot on the artificial surface. And actually, I don't think it was a foot. I think it was about 4 inches and a lot of slush. But that was at Malden Stadium, and this took place last year. Coach Jason Nascimento recorded his first Thanksgiving Day coaching win when they upset Malden 36-12. Medford came into the game 1-9 overall and looking to break a long 7-game win streak by the Golden Tornadoes, and they got the job done. Medford quarterback Adrian led the way offensively. He had 5 of 12 passing attempts for 244 yards and 3 touchdowns, 2 to Miles Olivier. Also, Pineda also scored a touchdown himself on an 11-yard TD run in the fourth quarter and threw a TD pass to Jose Lopez. So, for Malden, Junior Danley Exelholm then scored both of the Malden touchdowns, but Medford took command when it was 18-12 at halftime, and they never looked back. Defensively, Matt Sullivan, Anthony DiRenzo had a great game defensively, and they totally put the kibosh on Malden. That was last year one of the biggest upset wins, as Malden was a Division I tournament football team last year, and Medford with only 1 win had nothing to lose. So the only game Coach Papagallo's ever lost, and the only game in the series that Coach Nascimento has won. And now Malden's trying to stem the tide again, 52-36. Handoff to Danley Exelholm around the left end. Danley's going to gain about 11 yards, and that's going to be a first down. I'm going to guess that Malden's going to do a whole heck of a lot of running from this point out. And let's see if they can impose their will and keep Medford off the scoreboard, and then hopefully control the football and not allow this game to get out of hand. All these tidbits, by the way, that I've brought forth to you, I've taken from the Malden Evening News and their editor-in-chief, Stephen Frecker, who's done a great job of compiling all these games over the years and making sure that it's there for generations to enjoy. So Malden has it 1st and 10. They have the ball on about the 38-yard line. Another handoff to Danley Exelholm. Goes around the left side again. Off to the races. And he stopped inside the 10-yard line. Not sure who made that tackle, but it certainly was a touchdown-saving tackle. Wow. That whole left side of that Malden offensive line just mauling the Medford Mustangs, imposing their will over there. And Medford not having a big answer for it. Looks like Medford's called a timeout here to try to regroup and stem the tide here. Let's take a look again. Looks like they got a wing over there. Josh Simon doing a pretty good job blocking downfield. Mac Bruno just mauling his guy. Stephen Bosacote, nice job. Matt Gear, nice job. Offensive line over there. Lincoln Abanda, the wide receiver, doing a good job. And Malden moving the ball with force right now and trying to take the air out of the clock and finalize this 128th version of the second oldest continuous rivalry in the country. Martino calls the count, hands it again to Danley Exelholm. And Danley looks like he's going to jam that thing in. Is it in? No, he's short of the goal line, maybe down to the 2-yard line. But, boy, they're going to that side over and over again. So either the Malden staff has seen something or they're just saying, heck, they're going to put the ball in Danley Exelholm's hands in the offensive line, and they're just going to make sure they get the job done here. Quick, if you were a betting person, who would you put your money on to have the football right now? And where do you think they're going? And you'd be a winner. He's over. That's Danley Exelholm taking the ball. Boy, the Seattle Seahawks should have taken a page out of the Golden Tornado. Tornadoes playbook and handed that thing off to the beast mode last year in the Super Bowl. They probably have the trophy on their mantle instead of our New England Patriots having it on ours. Danley Exelholm, third touchdown of the game. Unbelievable. That's the fifth touchdown by an Exelholm brother in this football game. They've left their indelible mark on this 128th version of the game. Josh Andrews out. I'm surprised his leg hasn't fallen off by now between all the kickoffs and the extra points that he's tried. But he's going to try to make it 59-36. And a good rush off the edge from Medford. But Andrews puts that one up and through. And I'm going to say, finally, once and for all, that's it. Quickly look at it again. Handoff. Mac Bruno just driving his guy, creating a big gash in that Medford defense. One of the backers scraping over to try to make a tackle, but Exelholm's just too strong and powerful. He punches it in. And boy, if you liked offense and defense, if you liked points in general, this 59-36 game had to be something special for you to watch. Just a quick recap of the scoring. The first quarter, Jared Martino scooped up a 45-yard fumble and returned it for a touchdown. That made it 6-0. Two-point conversion was no good. Then Danley Exelholm picked off a pass and returned that 80 yards for a touchdown. The right tackle, James Knox, had the two-point conversion rush to make it 14-0. Malden linebacker and defensive end Lincoln Abanda scooped and scored on a 55-yard fumble recovery. The two-point rush was no good by Mac Bruno. In the second quarter, Medford finally got on the board when Corey Moore had a 4-yard touchdown run. Captain Matt Sullivan's two-point rush made it 20-8. Malden scored again offensively finally. Jorgensen Exelholm had a 58-yard run around the edge. Mac Bruno stopped again, made it 26-8. Malden's Danley Exelholm had his second pick six of the game, returned this one 40 yards for a touchdown. Josh Andrews' extra point was good that time, made it 33-8. And then Malden scored again offensively. DJ Exelholm, his second rush of the game, identical almost to the first run he had. That was also from 59 yards out. Mac Bruno rush, again, no good. One more time in the first quarter, Malden made it 45-8 when sophomore Jared Martino hit Jorgensen Exelholm. DJ for his third touchdown pass of the half. A screen pass that went 22 yards. Andrews' extra point was no good. So that made the half 45-8 Malden. Now, second half, totally different deal, all Medford. Ben Antoine to Miles Olivier with a 39-yard pass. Matt Sullivan pass was incomplete, but that made it 45-15. We'll watch this play and we'll continue from there. Antoine still at quarterback. He's going to run the ball himself. Goes around the left edge. There's nobody there for Malden, and he runs out of bounds. Good job getting out to about the 36-yard line to stop the clock. To continue on with the scoring, Ben Antoine's second TD pass. He threw this one to Corey Moore. That went 74 yards. Sullivan's two-point rush was good. That made the score 45-22. Medford again scored. Josh Fidoshi blocked an Andrews punt. Sullivan scooped it up from the 14 and scored. Then he tossed a pass to Mac Perazzo. That conversion made it 45-30. The fourth quarter started. That incomplete pass brings up a second down, make that a third down. We'll continue to watch this, but it's third down and 10. Malden finally scored. Martino threw his second touchdown of the day. That was a pass to Danley Exelholm on a swing pass, and he went 50 yards with that. Andrews' PAT was good. That made it 52-30, but Medford wasn't done. Antoine fired a 60, or actually didn't fire, but ran for 63 yards on a fourth down play. Sullivan's rush was stuffed. That made it 52-36 at that point in time. Antoine back to pass. Quick swing. Nice play. Olivier for a first down pass and catch. Medford will have it first down and 10. That's a gain of 12 for the Medford Mustangs. They're going to have the ball now at the 48-yard line to continue the scoring, Malden scored. Danley Exelholm just scoring his third TD of the game. No, that's his fourth TD of the game. It was a rush of 3 yards. Josh Andrews' extra point was good, as Danley has scored on 2 interception returns, a pass on that swing from Martino, and, of course, that touchdown rush that he just scored on. Olivier in motion, handoff to DiRenzo. Couple tough yards in there, maybe a yard of one. Might not even gain that yard. Looks like he got back to the line of scrimmage. That's going to make it 2nd down and 10. I don't know, folks. If I'm reading body language, it's looking to me like Medford is running out of steam, and who can blame them after a valiant attempt at coming back in what looked like an insurmountable 45-8 halftime deficit. Corey Moore in motion. They're going to hand the ball off to him. He's going to try that left side of the Malden defense, and it's not going to be very giving. Looks like he's tackled over there by Simpson Liberis, number 7, who's had a whale of a game from his defensive end position. Brings up a 3rd down and 9 for the Medford Mustangs. Yep, some folks starting to put their hands on their knees. Sidelines aren't as boisterous as they were. Stands not as loud as they were. And who can blame them? Looks like the adrenaline has left the Medford side of the field. Antoine fakes it to DiRenzo, runs it himself over to the left side, the Malden right side, and Malden sitting there waiting for him. Lincoln Ibanda. Danley Exelholm in on the tackle. It's going to be a 4th down and 8. 7. 4th down and 7 for the Medford Mustangs. Ball at the Malden 49-yard line. One would think this is the last-ditch effort for Medford. Let's see what Ben Antoine has up his sleeve. They're in that same formation Malden's run a few times, that bunch set, and the bunch is to the left. He rolls left. They're flooding the left side with all kind of receivers. Ball looks like it might have been caught. Not sure who caught it because I got people standing up in front of me, but it's caught, but it's not quite enough for a 1st down. Looks like they gain about 6 or 7 on it, but that's going to be a turnover on down. The Malden Golden Tornadoes are going to survive the onslaught by the Medford Mustangs. They have a 59-36 lead. There's only a couple minutes left in the quarter, a couple minutes left in the game, actually, and it looks like the Golden Tornadoes are going to be victorious in the 128th Thanksgiving Day rivalry football game. The spotter's telling me that Olivier caught that football, but should have probably gone over the top a little bit higher, Antoine, because they need a little bit more than that for the 1st down. So Malden comes up. I'm going to bet my bottom dollar they don't try a pass. Hands off to Danley Exelholm, somebody in the backfield there. And actually, Exelholm's going to lose 3 yards. So that's going to bring up a 2nd and 13 for the Golden Tornado. So Medford's still playing hard. Matthew Sullivan coming off the left side, blitzing linebacker and making sure that the job got done for the Mustangs. Malden really going slow now. Everybody's in the huddle. Quarterback over to the sideline, taking the play from Coach Papagallo.
Danley's 3, DJ's 1.
Slowly jogging back on the field. Yeah, the clock is tick, tick, ticking, and running out on the Medford Mustangs. Malden will probably be happy as heck when the final whistle sounds, because they had a tiger by the tail this 2nd half. Martino flash fakes it to Danley Exelholm, keeps it himself, gains a couple over the left side, maybe 1, and that's going to bring up a 3rd down for the Golden Tornadoes. For Medford, this is going to drop them to 1-10 on the season. Not exactly what they would have liked, but they were very competitive in a lot of their football games this year. Not very indicative of the season they've had. Their GBL All-Stars were Matthew Sullivan, Adam Ferragamo, and Anthony DiRenzo. For the Golden Tornadoes, their record will improve to 5-6. Although not a great record, they did win the GBL championship. They went undefeated against Somerville, Everett, and now Medford. They competed in their third consecutive Division I playoffs. Their GBL All-Stars were DJ Exelholm, Danley Exelholm, who were both named co-MVPs of the GBL, by the way. Martino back to pass. Strange to see them pass. Throws it up over the top. Almost completes it, but it's incomplete. Stops the clock. Wasn't expecting that from the Golden Tornadoes. But to continue on with their GBL All-Stars, Lincoln Ibanda, Josh Simon, James Knox, Mac Bruno, Jarrett Martino, and of course Robert Collins, who we've talked about a little bit earlier. So that brings up a 4th down and 12 for the Golden Tornadoes. Clock winding down. Not exactly sure the official time is kept on the field. It shows 1 minute and 40 seconds up on the scoreboard, but one never knows. Malden's in punt formation again. Looks like they got all their starters out there on that punt team. I know the tendency is to play some of the guys that are preparing to be good players for you the following year on those special teams, but after giving up a couple blocks, and boy, Medford puts pressure again, but Josh Andrews able to get it away, and Corey Moore can do nothing but watch it go all the way down to about the 21-yard line. So Medford will have it at least one more time, and we'll see if they can muster something else. Who knows? Unfortunately, they're down 23, and not sure that I've ever seen mathematically a team able to come down from 23 with less than 2 minutes to go. Malden will now increase their lead in the second oldest continuous rivalry in the country by going up 63 wins to 55 losses and 10 ties. Medford heads out to the football field. Ben Antoine at quarterback once again. We've seen him almost exclusively the second half. Kyle Lynch took most of the snaps in the first half. But Malden was able to convert some miscues into touchdowns. Quick pass out. I wish we could all see it. Nice job by Moore taking that ball. Gains about 16 yards on it when it's all said and done. Took it in the left flat, raced all the way right, got a couple nice blocks, made a couple people miss, and finally Pedro Lugo makes the tackle, and he's up at about the 36-yard line after starting on about their 20.5-yard line. This group of Malden seniors has had a pretty good run since becoming varsity players, a lot of them as sophomores. They made the playoffs for 3 consecutive years. Unfortunately, they were unable to move forward in the playoffs. They had a tough loss to Peabody this year. That great running back by Peabody, Santos, had one whale of a football game, and Malden was unable to overcome a deficit, although they did make it close in the end, but Peabody moved on. Antoine keeps the ball there. He's tackled by Jake Fox. About a gain of 3. Brings the ball up to, looks like the 39-yard line. Going to be a 2nd down and 7 for Medford. Antoine still at quarterback. Under a minute left in the football game. Antoine back to pass. Completes it. Or doesn't. Looks like it came out of his hands and bounced on the ground. Abdi Jama, number 4, dropping that ball. Good ball, though. I mean, Antoine, one heck of a quarterback. Did a pretty good job of getting the Medford Mustangs back in this football game with his quarterback play this second half. The Malden Golden Tornadoes also rewarded by the New England Patriots this year. They have their Coach of the Week award that they give, as well as $1,000 to the program. And Malden High's Joe Papagallo won that this year, although he deferred and said it really should be called the Team of the Week. And there's a lot of people that agree with him, as the football players are the ones doing the job on the field. In any case, I'm sure Malden didn't mind the $1,000 contribution from the New England Patriots Charitable Foundation. 3rd down play. Antoine kept the ball, gained about 4 or 5 yards. And now it's 4th down and 5, and I'm going to guess this is going to be the last ditch effort by the Medford Mustangs. Ben Antoine back to pass. He's hit by Robert Green. Almost picked off by senior captain James Knox. And I think that's going to finally do it, folks. The final in this historic game, the most points ever scored in the 128 years that it's been played. The Golden Tornadoes win this one 59-36. And wow, who'd have thunk it? 4 defensive touchdowns from the Golden Tornadoes. The Exelholm brothers, DJ scores 3, 2 by land, 1 that he catches for a touchdown pass, a screen pass. His brother Danley Exelholm outdoes him by scoring 4 touchdowns, 2 interceptions for touchdowns. Catches a ball on a swing pass from Jarrett Martino to score on a swing pass, and then runs one in from about 2-3 yards out to seal the deal. And I'm sure Malden didn't want to put 59 points up on the board, but when they started feeling the pressure of the Medford Mustangs, I'm guessing they felt they had no choice but to do something to create a little bit of distance, or you never know. Medford ultimately, for them, you have to take your hat off. They could have folded their tent after the first half being down by such a large score, and they didn't. They pinned their ears back, and in fact, they had a great third quarter, put 26 points on the board in that third quarter, and they made a heck of a contest out of it. And before Malden knew it, they were looking at being within less than 2 scores of the Mustangs, and they had to wake it up, and finally did themselves at the start of the fourth quarter. So we're going to run the names of both football teams on the screen before you, because they all deserve mention. It's been a long season. This, for many of these student athletes, starts all the way back in the summertime when they're doing captain's practice. They're doing 7-on-7 drills with other schools. They're in the weight room 3 or 4 days a week. They're doing conditioning. And anybody that plays football, I'll tell you, it's a heck of a deal, because it gets you ready for life. If you played football at the high school level, the rest of life isn't that difficult for you, because you know what it takes to be successful. Put hard work in, be dedicated, be committed, and certainly to have discipline as well. And both teams displayed quite a bit of it. Catching word up here right now, just catching word that actually this will be Coach Joe Papagallo's last football game. Just told his team and the media down on the field that he's retiring as head coach of Malden High School. And that's a pretty good career for Coach. In 7 Thanksgiving Day games, he's 6-1. Put his team in the playoffs for 3 years. And, not a bad deal for him. Not sure what he's going to do moving forward. He was an assistant coach here at Malden from 1999 through 2005 with Rich Cullen. And then he ended up going and coaching in the college ranks before he came here after 3 years and took the head coaching reins. So congratulations to Coach Joe Papagallo, his Malden Golden Tornado teammates, his Golden Tornado team, as they've won 6 of 7 here on Thanksgiving Day.